What song are you listening to?
Stack and Starve.
What song is you listening
Stack and Starve.
The most I ever made in a month is 10K. Most I ever made in a day is 4K.
How did you get Duke Dennis to have your product?
So bro, this is exactly what I did step by step.
This is Marcel Green, and he's gonna show us how he took his clothing brand that he started in a freaking Arby's.
We used to work at Arby's. That's when the term Stack and Starve came in.
To a clothing brand that's shown on famous streamers' streams like Duke Dennis, being worn by famous rappers like LaserDim 700. And he's gonna show us how you can too, all while active duty Army. And this isn't easy. This isn't a nice Cinderella story. He faced adversity and obstacles as well.
Like people not believing in, or not seeing the vision. Wasn't confident in like.
Have you ever had like a senior leader doubt you or try to put fear into your plans?
Yeah, bro.
And we're gonna talk about it all today, and we're gonna tell you guys how you can do it too. But before we get to that, if you guys are new to the channel, you guys don't know who I am, I'm Aaron Badley, it's your boy. I've been in the military for over 6 years now, and I've been documenting every step of the way. And if you guys are currently thinking about joining the military, or you're currently serving in the military, join my Discord below if you guys want to get connected with other service members that are on the same type of mindset as you. And if you need help on the ASVAB, we got you covered in the description below. So without further ado, like the video, subscribe if you're new, get comfortable, and enjoy the show.
My name is Marcel. I joined the Army at 19. I didn't really have too much, going on for myself. So I was like, one day the recruiter called me where I was like laying down, sleep on the couch. I ended up just talking to him, stuff like that. And then boom, I was in the Army. I did it for 4 years. And, I feel like it was a blessing.
Before I tell you how Marcel made $4,000 in a day or $10,000 in a month, I have to tell you guys how I met Marcel in the first place. And if you guys have been following the channel for a while, I was stationed in Korea for a year, and in that process I was out recording another video when I happened to run across Marcel himself selling his merch, and I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed. As soon as I saw him doing his thing, this dude is a hustler. This dude was out there enjoying not only the party life of South Korea, because if you haven't been, it's absolutely crazy, way better than America, but at the same time, he was also pushing his brand. And that's when I made the connection. That's when I was so impressed, and I had to talk to him and just to get to know the story, and that's what we did.
So basically, me and my partner, we used to work at Arby's. And back when we used to work at Arby's, of course, we were like 16, 17. The checks wasn't really like that much. So we was working, because of course we were working at minimum wage part-time. So we came up with the phrase stack and starve, just because we knew we had to save money. We had to like go without things. Like we couldn't be like buying, the freshest shoes all the time, stuff like that. Like we had to start saving our money and making those sacrifices. So that's when the term stack and starve came in. And we just kept using it throughout the time we was working at Arby's. And then eventually, once I got an AIT, I was a brand ambassador for another brand called Habits 365. And the commission I was getting off of it, I was like, it wasn't really that much. I'm like, okay, they doing that. They got it on these, top level influencers. I can do that for myself. So when I got an AIT, I just started brainstorming. And then I just, boom, the name came to me. And then I just rolled out with it, bro. And I just stuck with it the whole way.
And then do you have any backgrounds in like graphic design, or like how did you come about with the logos, the graphic design of your brand?
Originally, we had like a skull logo. So it was kind of like a Grim Reaper type of logo. And it was like a basically like feed into like the starve type of like the part of the name to say starve. We was feeding into that because it's like, of course, you starve yourself, maybe you hungry, maybe like like it's just skeleton and bones, stuff like that. But the reaction we was getting out of it and like stuff like that, we just decided to cancel that and just go straight just text basically. So now we just have like a logo that says SNS, which is a lot more cleaner, and then kind of appeal to like a lot more audiences. Even though like learning like down the line, I was like, we have a target audience. The people that were saying that logo was negative wasn't even the people that we looking to shoot our brand towards. So, but it just come with like time and the journey, and like, so as the brand kept going along, and I kept noticing like the same groups of people kept buying the brand, and not even the same groups of people that was buying the brand, but the groups of people that I wanted to be in the brand. So basically like our target audience is 18 to 24. Somebody that's looking to excel, or they looking to get to that next stage in life, because a lot of people between the ages 18 and 24, they're still figuring it out basically. So they're on their grind. They're making them sacrifices. They're trying to, you know, get to the next level in life. So yeah, that's how I figured it out, bro.
Okay.
So in the beginning, the very first person to buy something from me was somebody, of course, that I just got out of AIT with. All the people in my first orders really, bro, was just people from AIT. And when I was in AIT, bro, I got recycled, had to stay in AIT for longer. But yeah, basically I say all that to say that it was really a blessing, because like I met them group of people, then I met the people before us, I met the people I was with, then I met the people I was recycled with, and I met the people after us too. So all those people in AIT, I wasn't really looking at it like at the time, like at an opportunity, like, okay, I can get the big, because I wasn't even thinking about the brand at the time. I was just making friends and stuff like that. Everybody from AIT was pursuing the brand. But then I noticed after the initial support, it kind of like there's a wave, like it dies down eventually. So then you have to get to strangers, you have to meet new people, things of that nature. So that just came from just posting on Instagram, bro. I was just posting at least 2 to 3 times a day. I used to post motivational quotes all the time and making sure my hashtags was right, and you know, trying to get the right reach and things like that. Yeah, it went from everybody from AIT to just posting consistent content and just being consistent on the content, bro. People love to see your creativity. Why did you do this? Like that all, and like it all goes into like the messages of the brand. So say I released a shirt, it says "Stay down till you come up." I was doing public interviews in Korea. I was asking people why did they stay down. So during the process of doing that, I was also building a local community in Korea, like just from like, okay, so say I interview you, right?
You gotta dedicate yourself to the grind. You gotta know where you wanna be before you be there, brother.
Somebody that you know is gonna be like, I seen you do an interview with Aaron, and then it just boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with clothing brands or how the business model works, it's pretty much not a new thing, but after TikTok exploded at digital marketing and just overall selling things online, clothing brands have been popular by the day. And I just want to remind you guys, this isn't anything new. Clothing brands, especially being started up in the military, has not been new. There's been clothing brands like Grunt Style and 9-Line apparel made by active duty service members who scaled so much while in the military that they were able to not quit, but they were able to get out the military and pursue that clothing brand full time just by making a popular clothing brand that people love. And we're gonna show you guys by the end of this video how you guys can potentially do it too. And so after finding out why he created the clothing brand in the first place, I wanted to get to know the obstacles that one might face if they choose to create a clothing brand as well, because being active duty Army and running a clothing brand at the same time is not an easy task. And so I asked him, what was the major obstacles that he faced while doing this?
Time management, for sure. Of course, like, you know, like sometimes like we got certain trainings going on, or like even just being tired in general. You know, sometimes like I used to be in the habit of like, as soon as I got off work, like taking a nap. Then another is, of course, like people not believing in, you know, or not seeing the vision, which of course I can't really fault too many people. I'm a genuine dude, I always think positive, but I can't really fault too many people not seeing the vision, because I know in the beginning, like I didn't even see the vision. A master sergeant that I used to work with, my old NCRC, she used to be like, put your brand, you know, like at your desk or something like that. Like, but I just wasn't like confident enough, and I was kind of like scared at the same time, because like I didn't want like command team to be like, oh, he has a business and he's like doing this, because I just wasn't confident in like putting my business out there as much. But as time going on, like, you know, all glory to God, like thankfully that confidence came. Like,
how did you build up the confidence to start telling people about your brand?
I don't want to cuss, bro. I can cuss.
Fuck it.
All right. Yeah, bro. I started giving just like the fucking attitude, bro. Like, I know that's not everybody's gonna, you know, not everybody's gonna rock with it, of course. Like, and that's what it is. I started to learn my target audience too. I know that if I look at a specific person and I can tell like the way they dress, that 9 times out of 10 they might not want to support. I started focusing in on basically like the people my age or younger, and the people that's kind of like, you know, I look like a tad bit fashionable.
Have you ever had like a senior leader doubt you or try to put fear into your plans?
Yeah, bro. So not even just brand wise, but even like me getting out, of course. Like, I mean, that's like very common, but like right before I was getting out, right before I was leaving Korea, I was telling one of my senior leaders, actually one of my old first sergeants, that I was switching to the reserves, and he was just basically like, people in the reserves die quick, bro. He's like, people in the reserves deploy. And this is all stuff that I actually know, but the fact that he said, that people in the reserves like die quick, that just kind of like threw me off. And even it was all in the car, bro. And even like the staff sergeant that was to the left of me, bro. Like after we dropped them off, he was like, bro, don't worry about that. Like some senior leaders honestly are just kind of weird and kind of like they can be negative, but that just added fuel to the fire for me.
If you think in 2024 that you're going to start a clothing brand and it's going to make you rich, you're a fucking idiot.
And I can't stress this enough to you guys, because if you guys also want to create your own clothing brand, you guys must do your due diligence. Just because your friends and family and your close ones are saying this is a good idea, it's important that you guys actually do the market research and make sure that there's actually a demand for whatever you're about to sell, because you don't want to buy 1,000 pieces of clothing that you end up only selling 2 of. And not only that, you guys don't want to get scammed by manufacturers overseas who promise to deliver a product, but they end up just taking your money. And so that's why I want to tell you guys about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura helps protect your guys' private information online because they digitally monitor the dark web and the internet 24/7, looking at websites that should not have your personal information because, well, let's face it, some of these manufacturers' websites aren't the most legitimate looking websites and potentially could just be a front for a site that just sells your personal information, or is going to be there to help prevent that. And not only that, they also help you monitor your credit. And so if there's abnormal credit card activity on your account, Aura will let you know so you can stop it as soon as possible. And this is my favorite part about Aura, because I was in Korea for over a year and I didn't realize that Korea, you can't really watch things that you can watch in America. And so Aura has a VPN built in all into the app that allowed me, while I was in South Korea, to watch the NBA games, the football games, the Premier League games that I liked to watch, because I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna go crazy if I couldn't watch these games. And so Aura allowed me to use their VPN service to watch the games that I wanted to watch. And so that's why I want you guys to be protected while you guys are surfing the web, potentially putting your private information, your credit card information into these websites. And Aura wants you guys to be protected as well. And so that's why they're giving you guys a 14-day free trial if you guys click the link in the description below. And so after overcoming all these obstacles to getting celebrities endorsing their products, I had to find out, how the hell do you get somebody like Duke Dennis, LaserDim, and even CJ to talk about your brand?
So let's talk about, how did you get Duke Dennis, somebody with over maybe 5 million people, followers on his platforms?
Duke Dennis does PO box openings probably like every month, every 2 weeks. So basically I just ship a couple of my products to his PO box. He opened it, and basically almost every box that he opens, he opens it, he gives like an honest review, and then that's pretty much it. If he puts it on, he puts it on. If he don't, he don't. But for my case, he didn't even actually put on the brand. He just
swim trunks for when it get hot at the AMP house. Take a little swim. I like this. I like long sleeve shirts.
That went so far, like that's all you really need, bro. If people see Duke Dennis, they're like, oh, Duke, that's influencer marketing, bro. Okay, I know him. I don't know the brand, just like you said, I don't know the brand yet, but the fact that you got him in the brand, I'm rocking with it.
How did you get LaserDim?
LaserDim, bro, that all came through networking. So actually, somebody that I used to go out with, somebody I showed a shirt to in Korea, I used to go out with him sometimes to, like the clubs and stuff in Korea. And as doing that, after I left, he ended up texting me, bro, and he's like my cousin. He like a rapper and stuff like that. And I actually didn't know too much about LaserDim until he showed me. So basically, like he gave me his address, bro. He gave me his address, and I sent some merch to him, and he just ended up wearing it, bro. He just ended networking and putting myself out there. You never know who you're gonna come in contact with. You never know who's family with this person. And that's just another blessing and another connection that I made just through the Army. And I wasn't even that much close with him but he was just a genuine person. He's like, my cousin's a big time rapper. Let me put you on.
Now we get to the numbers part. Hearing $4,000 being made in a single day blew my mind, and I needed to know how exactly he made that much money in a single day. And so we're going to break it down for you guys.
The most I ever made in a month is 10K. So, but I'm trying to surpass that. And the most I ever made in a day is 4K. And that was on like a Black Friday, just off selling like $50 hoodies. So yeah, that's the most I ever made. Of course, people are looking to spend money around Black Friday. So if you used to drop a brand around Black Friday, you kind of like had a first drop deal. People are already looking to spend money around the holiday time. So don't miss out on any like peak season.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
Somebody watching this, they got inspired by Marcel. Break it down for that young E1 watching this video right now.
Starting from square one, make sure you have a name, a message behind your brand that you can stand behind and that you'll be passionate about. Once you have the name and the message of the brand, then you start getting down your design. What do you want your brand to look like, and who do you want in your brand? So once you get down to design, shoot it to a couple of your friends. Ask them, how do you think this is? Would you wear the brand? So once you do that, then you can finally go all in on that design that you like. You can either go a couple ways. You can go to a screen printer or a print shop that's local in your area and get the shirt printed. You can manufacture from overseas, which is Pakistan or China. You can press it yourself. You can go the heat press route, get a heat press off of Amazon, make the shirt yourself. Or you could do third party, and you can go through Printful. So you got 4 options. You can go through Printful, overseas, local screen printer, or you can heat press it yourself. So once you figure out whichever of those 4 you want to go, so say you go the manufacturer route and you get a sample in, you pay for that sample, you're only E1, so you don't have that much money. So I would definitely strive for you to go for that go the free sample route and tell them you're going to put in a bulk order for say 30 shirts. You get a sample in, you love the sample. So once you get the sample in, you market that sample. You post as many pieces of content as you can. You take pictures, you get other people to take pictures in it, take videos of it in the ground. You tell all your friends, tell everybody about it. And then from there, since you don't have that much money, you probably don't have that much money to do for the upfront cost. So you create a Shopify. Shopify's first month is only $1. So boom, everybody has $1. Get a Shopify website, go to YouTube, search up how to build a Shopify website, and they'll walk you through it step by step for free. So boom, right now you got a free sample, you have a Shopify website for only $1, and then from there you're gonna post your product on your website. You're gonna run a pre-order. So basically a pre-order is the customers are ordering the product before you have it on hand. So all right, so say you're gonna pay like $10 for the shirt, you post the shirt on your website for $20. So boom, you have not only the initial investment, but you also have profit for not only this initial drop, you have money for the next drop as well. So yeah, you post all 30 t-shirts or 50 t-shirts on your website, you run the pre-order, you're making sure you're posting content consistently, you're making sure that in your local area, you're talking to everybody in the barracks, you're talking to your commander, you're talking to your first sergeant, somebody knows somebody, your NCOIC, they probably got a son or a daughter that want to be in your brand or something like that, okay, I like this, I can see my child in this, something like that. So yeah, you're talking to everybody, you got to pre-order, people are going to go to your website, they're going to pre-order the shirt, you're going to get the sales in, and then once you got the sales in, you're going to have enough money to where you can buy the whole bulk order from the manufacturer. So you take that money that Shopify is going to pay you off immediately, almost 1 to 2 days after the customer buys from your website, and you're going to take that money and you're going to buy the bulk order, and then boom, you got all your products on hand. You only really have to sell half of it, or especially if you put the profit into into the website.
So it seems to me like launches are very intricately planned out. So could you kind of go into like what strategies you implement?
Marketing for my drops is basically ship out to influencers, do my email marketing, and ship out to content creators. And also I have brand ambassadors. So I have like 25 brand ambassadors, and I make sure they like post on their social medias. They also get discount codes and things of that nature. So I always have like multiple channels, multiple ways of getting sales. Another way of getting sales that I do for every job is I do events. events. I do pop-ups. But say like if I was like still in the military, if I was still in Korea, instead of like doing events and doing pop-ups, which is not, people don't, it was not too many, pop-up events and stuff like that where everybody has clothing brands in Korea and stuff like that. But I would have the duffel bag on me. It's nothing like being a foot soldier and, really putting in that work, because you could do all the posting you want. You could do everything. But until like people love to see it like tangibly, like in person. People love to have that, that touch and that feel. So yeah, that's all I really got to say. But for me, I ship out to content creators. I ship it out to rappers. I ship just like I shipped out to Duke Dennis. That brought in a whole big wave of people. So yeah, influencer marketing, it helps a lot.
And then would you recommend people, to join the military, bro?
I would definitely recommend people to join the military. I would recommend people at least one contract, bro. Because one contract active, because the benefits that you're going to get from it, it's out of this world. For real. The discipline, every little thing, the relationships you build, it's going to be a dope experience and something that you can take for a lifetime, for real. And then you in that community. You're in that community of like that 1%, which is, everybody can't do what we do.
After meeting Marcel in person, I not only was inspired, and I was glad to have the opportunity to sit down and talk to him. And to give perspective, I met Marcel almost a year ago, and I wanted to see how he's doing now. And so I called him, and this is how he's doing now.
What's up, bro? Wait.
So where are you at right now?
Right now, I'm in the SNS store, man. I'm in my suite.
What are your future plans of stacking Starvage?
A lot of gym wear, active wear will be coming soon. One-on-one training coming in the next few years. Online coaching, you could be looking out for that. And just more growth. It's more growth. And I just want to thank you, bro, for letting me on the channel. You feel me, bro? About to hit 100K soon. So yeah, congrats on that, bro. Thank you.